right. Hello, everyone. All right. Who's having a good time at WordCamp Asia? Oh, come on. Come on. Who's having a good time at WordCamp Asia? Yes. Thank you. And that's fantastic because in addition to these big flagship events, we have, last I checked, 784 local WordPress communities across 115 countries. Pretty cool, huh? And it's each of these local communities that have the potential to go on to organize WordCamps and work together to create regional WordCamps and come together to create events like these. Who here knows about their local WordPress community? Show of hands. All right. For those of you watching from home, that was about like 50% of the crowd here. And that's fantastic because anyone who is enthusiastic about WordPress can get involved in their local community, or if there isn't one already, start their own. And if that sounds really exciting, but also kind of scary to you, I get it. This is a fantastic community, and with that comes great responsibility. And so we've gathered this panel here today because every one of our panelists has, at one point or another, built their WordPress community. And so let's get to meet them. If you'll join me on stage. Oh, we're getting mic'd up. All right, fantastic. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I'm going to ask you all to introduce yourselves, if you don't mind. We'll just go down the line here, and if you can share your name, your company, where you call home, and one unique thing about your local WordPress community.
Yeah, my name is Amit. I'm from Nepal. So I would say I'm from WordPress Nepal. So one good thing about the WordPress Nepal is we've organized like 16 WordCamps so far. That's the unique point.
Hi, my name is Miriam Schwab. I'm from Israel. I have been in the WordPress industry for a long time, about 15 years. I founded an agency. Then I founded a company called Stratic, which was recently acquired by Elementor. So now I work at Elementor. I'm head of WordPress relations there now. This is a new role for me. I love being part of the community locally, and I think it also gives me an opportunity to be part of the community globally. And I'm just really, really excited to be here. So thank you.
Hi, my name is Megane. Thank you. I want to read my script, right? Yeah. I'm running a WordPress community agency, WordPress agency, MGN. We are sponsoring WordCamp Asia as theme park. I am previous WordCamp Tokyo organizer, and I also participate as a volunteer staff and speaker. Can I make sense? Like this? Thank you so much. Yeah, in Japan, WAPU was born in Japan, and almost meetup groups and almost every WordCamps have each origin WAPU. My country have a lot of WAPU's country. Thank you so much. I'm so excited about joining. Thanks for having me.
Hi, my name is Asif, and I see a lot of my team members. I am from Bangladesh. This time we are actually over, I think like close to 250 or 300 people from Bangladesh attending, and all of them needed a visa to come here. So they put a lot of energy. And when we are talking about community, that's the kind of ecosystem we are actually building. I am with WordPress since 2004. I'm a core contributor. I'm also a WordCamp organizer and trying to help as much as possible. And my company, WP Developer, that I co-founded, work exclusively for WordPress. We have several plugins and solutions for WordPress. Thank you.
Namaskar, everyone. My name is Rahul and I'm from Kolkata. I'm one of the organizers from WordCamp Kolkata. Professionally, I'm a content marketer and very humble and happy to be here. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Well, let's get started. I'm really excited to be here with all of you today. And we talked about something unique about our communities. And Miriam, if you don't mind, I'd like to start with you. What is something unique in your community that has either helped to propel community growth or has been a challenge for it?
So I would say that the Israeli WordPress community is pretty evenly divided between very hardcore developers, people who are technologists, and they do not want to hear content or learn anything about marketing or SEO, or that's so not in their wheelhouse. They just want to know about the latest innovations in terms of how you can develop and deploy WordPress websites. And that's always exciting, and I think it keeps a high level of content in our community. And then there are the people, I guess I would say an equal amount, of people who are interested in using WordPress as a marketing tool. And then you have a lot of those within companies who are using WordPress, and you have the technologists and the content creators and the marketers who are working together to use that WordPress site to achieve business goals. And those are the types of people who were attending our meetups and our WordCamps. COVID, of course, did not help with that, but we're really hoping to reinvigorate because it's a very interesting and colorful community, and I think we can learn a lot from each other if we can get together again, which we hopefully will.
Fantastic. And yeah, we do have a lot to learn from each other. I know you all travel to a number of meetups and WordCamps. What has, beyond the things that make our communities unique, what have you observed that brings us together? Anyone like to start?
So you mean this for this conference?
This conference, meetups and WordCamps around the world, what brings us together?
I think in the case of Nepal or Nepalese, let's say, I cannot say in general for other communities. The life has changed because of the WordPress for the Nepalese as a whole who are into WordPress, because Nepal has this, people still don't know Nepal that we are also into tech. People know Nepal for different reasons, for tourism, for other factors. But because of the tech, because of the WordPress, we've been able to identify ourselves, our talent throughout the world that, okay, we are also capable of many things, because if you see the WordPress theme directed, there are 30% of the contribution from Nepal. So because of those life-changing moments, because of those impact that WordPress has given, we all feel like giving back to community, and that's why we are attending WordPress. Not just in Asia, we also have participants in Bangladesh. We also attend WordCamp in US. So that's like giving back to community.
Fantastic. Yeah, and it can be life-changing. In fact, I'd love to hear a few stories of your first experience with WordPress events. I think, Megane, you and I were just talking about your first experience. What was that like?
Oh, I understand your English. I'm so happy. Yeah, my first WordPress event was WordCamp Tokyo 2008. I have joined WordCamp held near Tokyo or in Japanese every year. Yeah, one quote inspired me then, first time. I remember vividly the quote that was used in speech, standing on the shoulder of giant. It means giant equal WordPress, right? This quote opened a new chapter for me. That meaning is we can use the power of giant, and we can spread the power of giant. That's so great and it inspired me. Then I started WordPress blog community called WPD in 2012 when I became freelancer. And I be a CEO, and we start after a company. Then I want to learn from others in the community, and also wanted to help others by writing in WordPress blogs and webs. Yeah, the video finished updating, but our connection is and heartful friendship continue today like this. Thank you.
Fantastic. And I think everyone who comes to this community, they have such a different experience. And I think, Asif, you also had a really interesting first time in this community. What was that like?
So for me, the first time I attended a WordCamp, it was in Australia. So, and it was also for the first time I was traveling out of my own continent. And in Australia, like no respect or anything, like the way they speak is very hard sometimes for us to actually adopt the accent. So, and I was one of the speaker, and it was before like 2010 or something. So when I was asked to speak, I was speaking so fast, and I completed my lightning talk in 5 minutes. Then I realized nobody understood anything. I spoke too fast. Then I completely resumed the whole session again. But you know, like something very strange happened on the very first experience for me in the WordCamp. I fall in love with WordCamp, and that changed my life. Like I have attended like over 100 WordCamps so far, and only one actually happened in my country. So breast hundreds of WordCamp is all through the world. And so for a lot of us, the community people or the people who love WordPress, a lot of things are not directly rational to the financial aspect of life and everything. For me, it's kind of a joy that I find with people. I would call like WordPress and WordCamp people are my people. And a lot of my friends, my best friends, are actually made from WordPress community or the WordCamps. And you see, like WordPress have developed so much. Now we see a lot of companies investing a lot in WordPress, and we have a lot of different programs like 545 or a lot of different things. But I feel like if you could give someone the joy of WordPress, the joy of the community, he will actually do a lot of contributions by their own. You can't actually pay someone and ask like you have to contribute. If you could actually make them understand the joy of WordPress and the open source community, then probably it's easier to develop the community. And this is actually an example, like WordCamp Asia is probably one of the finest community event because we gather around from all around the world. Like I think we have more people from our local community in Thailand than we have from all around the world this time, right? Yeah. So this is a really special event, and I would like to thank everyone who actually traveled, took the time, took all the energy to actually attend and express the same kind of energy for all of us.
Yeah. It's that sense of belonging is so important, and I think our community does a really wonderful job of trying to lower the barriers to participate and to make it as diverse and inclusive as possible, because that diversity does make us much stronger as a whole. And Raul, I believe you've done some diversity work in your community. What does that look like?
For us, diversity and inclusivity was always a priority. And although we are named as Kolkata WordPress Community, but it's just in the name, we believe that it is for everyone, not just for the local people. So I just want to share the experience that I have in last WordCamp that happened just very recently on December. We have audience from Bangladesh, Nepal, and we have speakers from Europe, US. And every time we do a WordCamp, we get huge support from all our neighboring countries. And we all represent Kolkata. And Kolkata, if you go with the history of Kolkata, like people all across the subcontinent, they came and settled down. So we try to follow the same philosophy and try to make it comfortable and inclusive so that anyone from anywhere can come and join and be a part of WordPress Kolkata community. And I think that what makes WordCamp Kolkata also unique, that we are local, but not local. Everyone is there. And slowly we are trying our best to build up the community much more in terms of number and also much more in terms of inclusivity. One priority that we have right now to balance the gender ratio, which I think is a common challenge between all the, Indian subcontinent WordCamps and meetups. So that's something where we are working on. And also we are working on to increase and welcome more students, because today or tomorrow we will be too old to, represent. So we need young people to come up and step up and take the responsibilities. So as a community, our two goals are to balance the gender ratio and to include more youngsters on the group.
Fantastic. All right. Well, and our hope here today is to inspire you to get involved with your local community. And so I do want to make sure that we have time for some questions. If I believe somebody has mics out in the audience, right over here. If you have questions, could you just raise your hand or wave or something, and we'll run the mic over to you. While that is happening and we're getting questions ready, I'd love to know, one thing that I love about this part of the world is that there are so many languages. However, that does make it really tricky for us to communicate with each other. Has this shown up in your communities, and how do you work across all those different languages?
So in the case of Nepal, even the Nepal itself has like 92 languages. It's just one country has that many languages. But there's one common language that we all understand, that is Nepali. So what we try to balance is, whenever we do our meetups, we try to conduct in Nepali language, because it's very comfortable for all the audience as well as the speakers. But when we do our WordCamps, so we have participants from other countries as well as a speaker, as well as a participant. So in the WordCamp, we try to include English. So that's how we balance, in terms of the knowledge sharing. So whoever are comfortable with speaking in Nepali, they are more like speakers in meetups. And for the people who are more comfortable with the international languages, we invite them as speakers in the WordCamp. So that's how we balance. At the same time, we don't really judge depending on their accent or something. We make sure that we give equal opportunity for all the speakers and all the participants. Yeah.
Yes. Anyone else?
So at the Israeli WordCamps, we would generally have guests that would come from overseas as well. And so, while on the one hand, the local community preferred content in Hebrew, which, by the way, I was often surprised about, because Israel is quite a tech-oriented country and quite international. People generally know English well. Still, the local community wanted content in Hebrew, which is legitimate. But we would want the international guests to feel comfortable as well and know what's going on. So first of all, we'd make sure to translate all of the content. The website, we would translate into English as well, and the schedule and the program. And then what we also tried to do was that we would have 2 or 3 tracks happening at the same time, and that at any given time, at least one session was happening in English, so that the international guests would feel comfortable being able to attend sessions as well, and they wouldn't have to feel left out. And then often they would be the ones giving the sessions. And so that way, we had content that the local community felt comfortable with, our international guests would be able to attend or speak at. And then also it meant that there was content going up onto WordPress TV that, from Israel, that people could understand as well. Although I remember when we started uploading the content in Hebrew, I think it was Andrea Middleton, she was very excited that for the first time WordPress TV was getting Hebrew content.
Yeah.
So I was excited that we were able to contribute that as well.
Fantastic. All right. Do we have questions from the audience? I see one over there.
Thank you. Thanks all for this discussion. So my question is, considering that assuming that the community in your country is very small, that it's invisible, and there are no groups on Facebook to meet with people with interest in WordPress, how to go about starting a new community within your country?
Great question. How do we start a community in your country?
I will try. I want to question. Today you coming here alone, right? Okay. Yeah. At first, my script writing in. At first, please check your neighborhood, communities, local team, or something. But actually, I heard from you, you don't have near neighborhood community, right? Okay, I see, got it. The huge and difficult, complicated question, but you are brave is now we can understand, and maybe everyone can help you, and we think with you, think for you, improve your country's community. Yeah, at first, please, I think better is, yeah, you want to more ask question to in our Slack, what Slack, yeah, right? Yeah, what Slack is best way to ask to a round of something question. Do you have account at Word Slack? Word Slack account. It is the official Word Slack group. Yeah, ごめんなさい。WordPress Slack. Yeah, WordPress Slack. Sorry. Community channel. Yeah. Let's try to join and please keep conversation in Slack.
Okay,
Don't
okay,
you think so?
of course. Can I DM you on Slack?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, great, thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
Let's try it. It's okay? Do you have another idea about it?
So like if it's about like smaller local community and how they could develop, you see like what happens even for Bangladesh. We are mainly based in Dhaka, our capital. And in Dhaka, it's easier to do everything because we have people, we have a lot of university, we have companies to support, sponsor. But let's talk about the whole country. I'm actually very impressed about the Nepalese communities. Nepal is a very distributed country and mountainous, but they have grown WordPress community to different parts of Nepal. And the core organizer, the people who are actually pushing WordPress throughout the country, they actually help each other. So like if they are organizing like WordCamp Nepal, the nationwide event, they do it like in different cities every year. And I'm sure like they follow a lot of like things like how to actually have like more speaker, how to have like more support. What we are trying to do in Bangladesh right now, in Bangladesh we have a mountainous city called Sylhet. And they started WordPress community about like 1 or 2 years ago. And now they are organizing meetups very regularly. So when they organize meetup, in our meetup is a little bit more driven towards like session or like networking. So sometimes they invite people from Dhaka community. And we are seeing this trend all through the country. Like in a small city, if they are organizing a meetup, they will invite everyone from the country. And it actually helps each other to actually expose the community to even larger audience. And just recently, even Sylhet got approved for their own WordCamps. So in Bangladesh, the first WordCamp we are going to see in this year will be like WordCamp Sylhet. And I feel like this is a very proud moment how a smaller city could grow with the help of like the rest of the country.
All right, next question. All right, I see a hand over here. I can't quite see out into the audience, so you might need to really wave.
Hi, thank you for coming to Thailand and welcome to Bangkok. So my question is that as you can see that this event is happening in Thailand, but in Thailand we also have like a WordPress community, but what I see here is not a lot of Thai people coming to this event, which is like one of the biggest for WordPress. So how can I contribute, or we, in terms of Thai people, that is already existing community but not that big and it's not that popular? How can we improve this community to be a little bit more for the local people in Thailand, and make, even though a lot of businesses and agencies here use WordPress to do their own business, and and gain momentum in terms of businesses. So the question is that how we can build a better and a bigger community, and more unified in Thailand. Right.
It's actually like a very good question, and the main reason why maybe we do not see a lot of Thai people is about the community activations, and also we do that WordCamp Asia was very overhyped throughout the community in WordPress ecosystem. So whenever they release the ticket, it run out very soon. So if the Thai community is not very engaged and well informed about what's going on globally, they maybe even did not actually got chance to buy the ticket because ticket ran out so soon. And I actually even attended like few tech events in Bangkok, and I was amazed to see how bigger the tech ecosystem we have in here. Like they have a lot of software companies, they have a lot of companies influenced by Japanese or neighborhood countries, and this is a good community. Maybe if we could engage more young people, if we could go close to the university and tech institute you have in Bangkok or Thailand or other parts of Bangkok, Thailand, then maybe it will be easier to get more people into it. And like in a lot of other countries, when they started to have even meetups, sometimes they shared it in like a global Slack or other places. So if somebody is like traveling to Bangkok, maybe not from this town, but maybe traveling from Japan, because I see Japan has a lot of business and other things in Thailand. So that's how probably you could get started with. And I do feel like this particular WordCamp, the WordCamp Asia, will actually accelerate all the WordPress related growth throughout the Thailand. So you will probably see a lot of things happening, and maybe attendees like you will actually take some initiatives and start gathering like people around and have like more meetups and other things.
I'll add a quick bit of facts in there because we've referred to the Slack channel a few times. If you don't know what that is, that's okay. There is a Slack instance where all of the contributors build WordPress together. It's called the Making WordPress Slack instance. And within that, there's a channel for every single team, and the community team has a channel there that supports meetup organizers around the world. And in fact, do we have any community deputies in here? You can just wave your hand real fast. I see Hari. All right. And one over there too. I can't quite see who you are though. But these are also the people who can help you get started and answer questions about meetups globally as well. So they are additional resources to you. Sorry, I interrupted you. Go for it.
Thank you. Just like regarding the expanding a community in Bangkok, so just wanted to share our experience because in the case of Nepal, it started with 3 people actually in 2007. Which expanded to now more than 1,000, or let's say in our WordCamp we get more than 1,000 people. So the idea is to continue even if there are few people joining a meetup. So that is very important. That's something that Nepal has done right. Let's say even I was not a part of WordCamp or WordPress meetups in 2007. We were pretty like we were students, but it was the WordCamp were happening every year. Like they did not give up. And WordCamp was one of the major push because we went there and learned the stories about the people that WordPress is doing something better for them. So because of these stories, that more people started joining these meetups and camps. So today, because 16 WordCamp is the reason why we've been able to expand. So my suggestion would be to not give up, even if it's the 3 people or 5 people. Make sure that you continue your meetup, and that will eventually let you to expand your WordPress community for sure. Thanks.
Fantastic. All right, any other questions?
Hello.
Maybe one over there? Oh, sorry.
Hello. So I just want to reemphasize what he was saying. I'm from WordPress community Islamabad in Pakistan. So we started in 2016, and that was the initiative that we took to make a community in Pakistan. So there were only 2-3 people joining in a community. So the main goal is, like, even if you see there are no as such people joining in a community, we did not give up. There was initial meetup where we have only 4 people coming in a meetup, 5 people coming in a meetup, but the main goal was to not give up. And at the end, we conducted 2 WordCamps there, and now we have almost more than 60-70 people joining in our meetup every month.
Amazing. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing.
Can I just share something about how we grew our
please.
community? So so I actually didn't start the community in Israel. It was someone else. He just picked it up and he organized 2 WordCamps. They were quite small. He did it in Tel Aviv. And then he was like, okay, that's enough for me. Because organizing WordCamps is definitely challenging. And I was like, okay, maybe I should try. And at the time, there was less of a push for meetups. So we weren't organizing like ongoing meetups. So I was like, okay, let's try to do a WordCamp. And it wasn't big. But it started, I think, just having these events and organizing them and getting people to start being aware of it. Like you were saying, start with a few. Those people tell other people. And those types of activities is what ends up growing your community locally, because it's also motivating for those people who are showing up. They're learning from each other. They can collaborate with each other. And then they feel part of something bigger. That first WordCamp that I organized, I was like, I want Matt to come. So I emailed him, and he came. These days, I don't think Matt can go all over the world, but one way I felt like that strengthened our local community, because having people come from outside of the local community shows that we're connected, not just like where we are, but also around the world, which is one of the wonderful things about WordPress, that we're all connected to each other regardless of where we are. And it starts almost like with the grain that you plant, the seed that you plant in your local community, and then that helps you connect and grow to the other communities. So by kind of cross-pollinating, I guess I would say, having people come from outside, it like gives like a invigorating type of just new faith, new approach to your local community. And then also all of you who are here, and I know it's hard to go to international WordCamps, believe me, I would watch from Israel while the WordCamps would happen in US, the main ones, and I could never go. It was too far, and I had babies, many babies. I could not travel that far. But then when WordCamp happened in Europe, it was closer, and it was the first time that I could actually go and connect with all these people that I was like huge fans of online, and I got to meet them in real life, which also helps bring back a kind of invigoration to your local community. The other nice thing about our community is that the people who we're big fans of are very approachable. You can just become friends with them. So I did, and then that led to like this kind of continuous relationship between our local community and the international community. And I started speaking at more international events, which brought more awareness about our community. And so just it's about taking the first step and making connections internally, but also outside of your country that can help you learn things that you can bring to your local community. And also it helps motivate in your own local community in terms of feeling connected like on a larger scale, which is, I think, very motivating.
Wonderful. All right, any other questions? Oh,
Yes.
right over there.
Hello, my name is Ade. I'm from Indonesia. So actually, I share the same feeling as the guy from Thailand. Yeah, like Indonesia is one of the most populated countries in Southeast Asia, but then there are only few of us who attended WordCamp Asia. And I'm very proud that some of the countries like Bangladesh managed to bring such a huge crowd to the WordCamp Asia. And yeah. So the question is, in Indonesia, the WordPress community is not something new for us, but then we have plenty of theme creator, plugin creators, but unfortunately, like not many of them is actually kind of involved in the community activities. Yeah, like considering the low numbers of local meetups that's happening. And there was just like only one WordCamp happens last year. It was a really good start. So I would like to know, I'm curious to know like what happens in each of your countries probably that was kind of the defining moment, or how could you create such a consistent and persistent community, WordPress community growth in your country. So if you could just share some, there could be some like one moment or tips that how you can get this consistent growth of momentum in the WordPress community in your country. Thank you.
I love that question. What was the defining moment that?
I could take the questions. So in Bangladesh, the WordPress exists for a longer time. My company is doing work related to WordPress for a longer time. But our community jump-started back in 2013, the time we started doing meetups. And like it's just my experience, sometimes those kind of development is driven by leadership. So if you have people who are dedicated, who are connected, and at the same time have the capacity to drive or gather people, it actually helps each other. And as I said, like I'm very much motivated from the Nepali community at the beginning. Like they started even earlier than us. They had really good WordCamps even before than us. And in Nepal, they actually, they're also driven by a few of the leaders, but they organize a lot of things very differently than we used to see in other places in the world. Like they used to, I heard they used to organize like workshop for younger people so they could get into theme development or those kind of things. And that actually helps to draw a larger audience. In Bangladesh, it also happened in the same way. We started to organize meetups. A lot of people got interested. A lot of young people who are probably doing some work in PHP or wants to get into design or website or the website building kind of works. They started to attend WordCamps to listen and to network. And that's how it started. Like we even have a meetup that has close to 1,000 people, just a meetup, but still like close to 1,000 people. Most of our meetups still right now are like close to 70 or 100 people. So those kind of meetup could actually influence a lot of people. And last 3 years was very hard for all of us. Like we did not have not only WordCamps, like WordCamp Asia was supposed to happen on 2020. I'm very thankful for all the organizers who are keep working for nearly like 4 years. So yeah, that's a very special thanks for all the organizers who are doing it for longer years. And if you think about like how we are not able to organize meetup for a few years, it actually caused some of the damage. And right now, as we are able to meet physically, as we are allowed to have meetups and WordCamps, this larger event, I think it will change a lot of things. And I even personally actually attended one WordCamp in Jakarta, and it was a very good experience. And in the same year, Indonesia had, I think, like 3 WordCamps in a single year. So Indonesia has a really good potentials. I think like as soon as we start to have the meetups again, we will see like more of the communities actually coming apart and coming together.
Yeah.
I want to be honest about our meetups, and we have struggled with consistency. It's really hard. It was hard to get people to show up, And we were doing them in Jerusalem, which is a much smaller and less active community, but I was like, this is where we are, we're gonna make it work. It was much harder. I recommend doing things that make your life easier. So for example, when we restart the meetups, we'll probably be in the Tel Aviv area where there's just more action. And I know that's not relevant for everyone, but I actually was talking to someone here who said something interesting, which was that they moved their meetups from the evening to the morning, like to 10 a.m. And I was like, and their attendance grew. Like, that's really smart, because evenings can be hard for people with families, the end of the workday, you're tired, you're gonna start driving around, like, who has the strength? I know I barely have the strength to do that kind of thing. So you're like, okay, well, especially if people are working in this field, then it's, work related. A 10 a.m. meetup makes a lot of sense, and people still have energy to do a thing like that. So something that I'm taking from that conversation, and I'm recommending in general, is to try different approaches. Try different frequencies. So some communities, more frequent works better, some less. The time, the day even. And if you can, bring like a local celebrity type of person, like someone that people know and are excited to hear from, and like push that with all your strength to get people to come to that meetup, and then they'll be like, oh, that's a cool group of people. Hopefully, they will stay engaged going forward. So basically test, A/B testing almost for your meetup.
I want more. I want to say other side. We want to improve. We want to enjoy all together and improve number of people. But I think I want to say don't be rush. This is a most and best Asia communities event. Then I think find your pace and keep it in order to continue contributing. This is, I think it's another key point, right? Yeah. Japanese culture, like these consistent work. It's like in Japanese it's shokunin. That means it's craftsmanship. Make it routines and participate regularly. For example, document team reps Akira Tachibana-san, document team rep, open translate hour every Friday night in Japan Slack. It's a good experience and example for joining regularly. It's keep in touch easier and easy to connecting your local people teams.
Wonderful. Yeah, that connection is really important. Raul, I'm so glad you're going to jump in here, because India has such a vibrant community, and we talked about wanting a WordCamp India earlier today. I'd love to hear from you as well.
Thank you. So what I think, in order to grow any community, consistency is important. And we also need to think, like, I believe you're an organizer, so you need to think what is in it for the audience. Like, if they come to your meetup, what are they taking back with them? It can be some knowledge, it can be some value, it can be good networking, or it can just be a couple of hours of healthy, good conversation. So whenever we plan a meetup, we try to ask ourselves, like, if I am an attendee and I want to be a part of the meetup or attend that particular meetup, what will I gain from there? So if we can provide a value, and if people get something, it does not have to be, you need to bring world-class speakers. You don't need to do that. You can pick, people who are doing good job. If someone, for example, someone is running a startup, just, approach them, ask them, invite them. Just, outreach. As a community organizer, it is very important to communicate, outreach, and connect with people, invite them, and make it a safe place for them. You don't have to be the best speaker. You don't have to be, the most knowledgeable person, but you need to be approachable. You need to be a good human being first, and you will see automatically the things gets connected. Just be consistent and try to provide a value. And I think that's the only thing that will help you to grow the community. And try to network with all the neighboring communities within your country and also outside. Try to plan meetups when you see other community members are coming to your city. It helps because first and foremost, you get a good speaker, and on the other hand, you have a scope of collaborating within the communities. So I would again like to quote from what I learned from Nepal community. So every time I go to Nepal for any of the WordCamps, I learn something from there, and I bring it back home and try to implement that. So if you really want to grow your community, you also need to attend and visit and see what other communities are doing. Try to learn from them, and if you see something good, just bring it on and implement. So I think that's the three things that needs to be done is create value, be consistent, be open, invite. Like you should always have an inviting attitude. And that's it. I think this thing will help you.
Indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we have so much to learn from each other, but unfortunately, we are at the end of our time here. However, all the panelists will be around and available in case you have any other questions, as will the community deputies as well. Thank you all so much for being here today. I hope you are all very inspired to start your local community. Thank you.